Welcome into another episode of your favorite basketball show on the internet. I can say that, right? I can say it's your favorite one. If you're watching this, it might be one of your top 5 at least, right? Welcome into another episode of Full Courtney Press. I'm your host, Courtney Mims, and you know him, you love him. I got Hogville.net, sports writer, and honestly, all things basketball when it comes to the state of Arkansas expert, and that's Kevin McPherson. Kevin, thanks for joining me today.
You know, Courtney, it's always great to be with you, and it is a great show that you have. So if you toot that horn, you've earned it. So good job.
You know what? Your check is in the mail. Thank you so much, Kevin, for saying that. I appreciate you for doing that. All right. You and I have been very busy bees this week because we were in Fayetteville for Wednesday night and Arkansas taking down the number 6 team in the nation in the Louisville Cardinals, handing them their very first loss of the season, 89-80, the final score. And then we got in our cars. We left after Ryan Silverfield. All of that announcement happened. We were there for the press conference. We got in our cars. We went back to Little Rock, and then we saw the Hogs come to our neck of the woods. I'm going to say that, Kevin, our neck of the woods, and take down Fresno State 82-58, the final score. Yeah. Let's break down a little bit of what happened in these games, because I know Arkansas, they were wanting so badly to get a win over a top 25 team, right? I mean, they've come close with Michigan State and even Duke. I'll throw that in there as well. Yeah. Just couldn't get it done. And so Calipari even said after that game against Louisville, he said, look, I didn't like that it was that close, but we kind of needed it because we almost needed, in a sense, to be close with a top-tiered opponent, to be close and it come down to the wire and us to show the resiliency to pull out the win. I think for me, that was awesome to see in that game. Kevin, what about you? I mean, obviously a lot of things were impressive about the win, but overall, I thought it was really great to just see them come down to, have Louisville come back and even threaten a little bit and go, hey, we're here, and Arkansas say, nah, we're going to pull this one out.
No, I agree. You got the best of both worlds. You jumped all over this team. You proved that you could just hammer or you're beginning to hammer, and you did through the first. You led by 18 at halftime. You were up 20 in the first 5 minutes of the second half. So you got a glimpse of what you can be, and then you got to see what adversity looks like when Louisville made the comeback, and you had to find a way to make sure you win that game. We all remember the next opponent, what happened in Arkansas's final game of last year, having that big second half lead and then dissolving and you lose a game in overtime. Arkansas needs to prove it can win close games. Even if you're blowing a team out and they make it close, you got to finish it. You could lose. They've proven that. So I think you got the best of both worlds. You proved that, you weren't just, it wasn't an uphill climb all game. But when it became an uphill climb, Arkansas had the answers at both ends of the court. End up winning that game by 9 points. I think Louisville cut it to 5 with about 3 minutes left. So it was a 2-possession game and plenty of time. So it's interesting. You got to enjoy if you were a Hog fan. The place was packed. We haven't seen Bud Walton Arena packed yet. It's mostly bye games right in November, December. But you get Louisville in the 3rd annual ACC SEC Challenge. And as a little icing on the cake, you got your first win over a ranked team this season. You got you're 3-0 all time in the challenge.
Yep.
I mean, that's something, right? I mean,
it is something. Oh, it is something. You're exactly right. And look, and I look at when you go down the stats, and let's just kind of look into them really quickly here. Louisville's bread and butter this season was they take a lot of threes. Right? They take a lot of threes, and we knew that going into the game that Arkansas was going to have to step it up with how they guard on the perimeter. And they did that. I was really impressed to see, okay, Louisville, they took 37 threes. 37, and they made 8 of them. Yeah. That was huge for Arkansas to go in there and do something that I was nervous about, Kevin. I really was, because we had seen so many times this season teams come in there, shoot a lot of threes, and shoot the lights out. So they needed to step up their game there. They did. It was nice to see Trevin Brazile set the tone of that one. He knew exactly what this game meant to Arkansas fans. He knew exactly what this game meant for the team, and he stepped it up. Truly, he set the tone. That to me was like, wow. Whatever he put on the stat sheet, I know he was their leading scorer with 21 points, but To me, that didn't matter at the end of the night. It was just, he just said, this is the energy, this is the level of play we need to have in this game. And he showed that. I love seeing that early on in this one. And then obviously you got to talk, the freshmen were dynamic again. Darius Acuff with a double-double, 17 points and 10 assists. Malik Thomas had 17 points as well on the night. You can't ask for much more from your guard play. But that's not what I want to dive into with you, Kevin, because Malik Ewan, once again, might have heard what we were saying about him a little bit. And he's going, you know what? I heard what Kevin and Courtney said on Full Courtney Press, okay? He had darts for us in the locker room because we asked for him to step up, and he has been stepping up. He had 12 points. He had 9 rebounds. And to me, I was like, man, I love seeing Malik Ewan step up his play and showcase what we know he can do, because we've seen it on tape, right? Cal's seen it on tape. He's going in there saying, look, this is how this guy can play. We need to see that. And so that was good to see. I'm sure you had more takeaways than that, but it was just nice to see, hey, it wasn't just the guard stepping up. We know they have great guard play. We saw the big stepping up as well.
Yeah, TB, 17 of those 21 points in the first half. And there was a stretch there where he had like 2 threes, a tip dunk, and
yes,
like a personal 8-0, 10-0 run. And it really just blew that cushion open, and it allowed Arkansas to really enjoy, again, building an 18-point lead at halftime, increase that to 20. I think it was 54-34 there in the first 5 or so minutes of the second half. And Malik Ewan, though, as a team, Arkansas was all over the glass. We really haven't seen that, but Ewan was the catalyst. You mentioned the 12 points and 9 rebounds. He only played 17 minutes. 7 of those rebounds were on the offensive end. There were a couple of dead ball offensive rebounds credited to Arkansas where nobody got possession of the ball, but where Ewan was fighting for a loose ball and it knocked off a Louisville player out of bounds, and Arkansas maintained possession. It was plays like that when you look at Ewan's effort. We have not seen him as engaged. It was his best game as a Razorback.
It was.
We have not seen him that engaged. And Calipari in the postgame's talking about, I showed Malik Ewan highlights from him last year at Florida State. They're in the ACC with Louisville, 2 games against Louisville, and said, this is who we need. And then he said he showed it to the rest of the team. So, Courtney, look, I think that was Arkansas's best game. Obviously, it's their biggest win so far. I think it was their best game when you look 1 through 8, all 8 of their top 8 rotation guys. We've said all along they've got starter value 1 through 8. It showed up in that game. It wasn't just one guy carrying it. You went through it. You went through TB, the freshman guards, Malik Ewan. You could go around the room. Carter Knox had a huge start to the game.
Yes.
DJ Wagner had a stretch early in the second half getting buckets. And, you look at Billy Richmond III, and he was in double-digit scoring and made all 6 of his free throws. Arkansas not only was great defending the three-point line, holding that team, you went through the stat, 21%. They were shooting 37%. They were like top 5 in the country in just about every three-point shooting category. Arkansas took that away. Arkansas doubled up Louisville at the free throw line. How did Arkansas do that? They only took 18 threes. They played to their strengths, attack. Guess what? You get free throws if you don't finish with a bucket, or you might get an and one. 35 free throw attempts for Arkansas, only 18, I believe, 17 or 18 for Louisville.
18. Yeah, you're right.
The scoreboard ended up being closer than really that game was for the majority of it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Just that was what Arkansas knew. The game plan was almost perfect going into that game because they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they executed brilliantly. And like you said, it wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. It was you needed all 8. And you got performances from all 8. And to me, I was going, okay, that was really exciting to see that. And even I talk about, Trevin Brazile, we saw him play really well. Malik Ewan stepped up. Nick Pringle was a little bit quieter on the stat sheet, but still, again, it's you go through and you say, okay, we need a little bit from you and a little bit from you here. You don't have to be the star, but we need something. Right. We need something from you, and that's what they got in that game. Now, contrast that, okay? Contrast that with kind of a little bit what we saw on Saturday. They still got the win over Fresno State. They did, but that was an ugly first half, Kevin. You and I were both there. That was a great crowd too. We talk about the Bud Walton Arena crowd, but I asked Carter Knox after the game how did he, he's played in this arena, Simmons Bank Arena before. How did he like it? And he said, honestly, I thought we were kind of a little bit at Bud because just the crowd and the atmosphere, it was exciting. So shout out to the crowd at Simmons Bank Arena. Shout out to the crowd. Shout out to them. But we started off a little slow in that game. We started off a little slow and defensively very well. I mean, if you like defense, you like that first half, you did. But starting off a little slow shooting wise. And for whatever reason that was sometimes, and this is the crazy thing about basketball, Kevin, you know this. Some days you're just not going to shoot well. Some days you're going to get open looks and you're just going to miss. It's just going to happen. And and I thought what was really nice was the contrast in the second half where you went, you know what? We're going to be goldfish. DJ Wagner, right at the end of the first half, hit two threes that kind of said, wait a second, this is how we can attack what Fresno State was doing with that zone defense. We know how to beat it now. Let's go in and make the adjustments. And that's what they did. You saw them come out in the second half. Carter Knox shooting back-to-back threes. DJ Wagner had another three. I'm missing somebody, but another player shot a three as well, and it was like, okay, this is how we can do this. This is how we can. And so they ended up pulling away in that second half and beating Fresno State. What for you, that wasn't anything to hit the panic button on, right? Because, that's what they should have done. They should have gone in there and beaten Fresno State like they did. It just took them a little while to get into it, right?
Yeah, I agree. The sluggish offense, but I think the defense, you held a team to 58 points, 82-58 win by 24. You led by 32 in the second half. You had that big run. You mentioned some of the shots early in that. That's what I thought was key because Carter Knox and DJ Wagner have been kind of quiet offensively. They're both preseason SEC all SEC picks. Been kind of quiet offensively. They both ended up in double figures, but it was that stretch where Arkansas finally kind of blew it open where both of them were thriving. I think the other thing is look at the three-point defense again. 4 of 26. I mean, you got back-to-back games where you are elite on the perimeter defense. And Arkansas was back to shooting a ton of threes in this one like it has in some games. But, Arkansas made its share of threes and was better. And that was one of the areas where and then transition. Arkansas got out and ran in this game, created a bunch of live ball turnovers. I think Arkansas had 11 steals, 17 turnovers, 26-11 Courtney and fast break scoring comparison. To me, the 3-point defense and Arkansas being, on a high volume, 36+% from three, that's just fine. And then getting those steals and getting out in transition, that was the difference in that game. Because again, Arkansas was back to its, we may not be all that strong on the glass. I mean, Arkansas did not win the rebounding battle in that game. We've seen that a lot this year, but they were superior, vastly superior in other areas that mattered. And
that to me, and I think that's really good. You're not always, and this is again, I go back to what I just said. The shots are not always going to fall, but to come back and make sure, okay, we're going to come out in the second half and try and dominate in this game, make those adjustments that we needed to, and now we can come out and get a nice win over an opponent that, like Cal mentioned, right, in the post-game press conference, he went on his rant about college basketball and eligibility and teams being older and that a Fresno State might get a win over somebody because they're just older and playing college basketball for 5-6 years. You've got guys with beards and, all of those things. Paying the first wife's alimony. That's what he said. First wife's alimony with NIL. It's I get it. It's funny, but there is some serious behind it, right? That to go out there and just, hey, we won the game. We were supposed to win this game. We did that. Good. Now let's move on and focus on a game that, and I never want to say they're looking ahead, Kevin, but you almost can't overlook the fact of who you've got coming up next week. You just can't. I know these guys were looking at that game, and I know these guys were excited about that game. So it's kind of hard to get yourself in a mindset of, okay, we've got to go out and beat Fresno State. We just beat Louisville. We just had a statement win now we have to readjust and remember, okay, we've got to go out and beat Fresno State, and then we can focus on Texas Tech coming up next week. We're going to take a short break, but when we get back, we are going to talk about that game because, Kevin, I don't want to be nervous for this one, but I kind of am. I know that I'm kind of nervous because this is a big game for both teams.
It tips off at 11 a.m. We'll all be too sleepy to be too nervous, right? We're still choking down coffee and trying to wake up and figure out what we're thinking.
No, don't say that, Kevin. Don't say that. We need the teams to be. Texas Tech can be sleepy. They can be sleepy, okay?
Right.
They can be sleepy. Arkansas cannot be sleepy. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. Right after this, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more Full Court Press. Welcome back to another episode of Full Court Press. I'm your host, Courtney Mims, and we're joined, if you hopefully were watching before the break. If not, just go back and watch it. Go back and watch what we were talking about. I'm joined by Kevin McPherson of Hogville.net. And Kevin, this game, I'm so excited for this game, but I'm also quite nervous because Arkansas gets to rematch. I think they're calling it the Revo Crute rematch. They knew what they were doing here when they scheduled this game. Arkansas, Texas Tech, they're going to battle top 25 showdown in Dallas, the American Airlines Arena in Dallas. Going to be so much fun. But the reason why this is just a big game, if you're just living under a rock, hopefully you guys know why this is a big game. But in case you don't, these two teams battled in the Sweet 16 last year. It went to overtime. And Arkansas fell to Texas Tech 85 to 83. I have my scores mixed up. 85 to 83 in overtime in San Francisco. That was a fun game to be there for, but it was very stressful. And I just really hope Arkansas comes out and beats them. I would love to see that. I would love to see a win. Kevin, what does Arkansas need to do in order to get a win over Texas Tech this Saturday?
Well, let's see. In March, in San Francisco, Arkansas led by 16 points with under 10 minutes to play. They had a 13-point lead with just over 4 minutes to play. And it was more about imploding. Yes, Tech had to make some shots, but Arkansas did just about everything that goes against the book on how you finish a game with a lead. And so the first thing is, especially since we just talked about Arkansas holding on against Louisville, this team with its retention, guys remembering what happened, Carter Knox, who he's going to be on the mic tomorrow for a preview Zoom presser. I think I asked him about it in the post game against after Fresno State.
You did.
You heard him, and then you heard Acuff chime in and say, "Well, I wasn't in that game, but I want to win this for them, the ones that came back." And so, you're talking Carter Knox, DJ Wagner, Trevor Brazile,
Billy Richmond
III. Jaden Carolette was on that bench. Aiden Kelly was on that bench. I mean, you got 6 guys back, 4 that play that have been circling this game since the schedule came out. Courtney, Arkansas's got to be awake. It's an 11 a.m. tip. So they got to be awake.
Yeah,
that's number one. No, Arkansas, I think, is the better team. If you look at it, both teams 7-2. Arkansas ranked 17th now, Texas Tech 16th. The all-time series, these teams were members of the old Southwest Conference. 40-41 or 41-40 advantage Texas Tech. Arkansas can even it up. If you want to look at it historically, if you want to look at it, the current rankings, if you want to look at the records, it looks pretty even. They're pretty close in net rankings as well in the late teens, high 20s there. So this is a pretty even matchup on paper. I think Arkansas's got more than Texas Tech. I think it's advantage Arkansas. Yes, it's in the backyard, closer to the campus of Texas Tech. I still think advantage Arkansas. And the only question I have now is, can Arkansas maintain, sustain, and hold on in the end? Because I do think it's going to be a close game.
I wonder, again, this is kind of just my I wonder just exactly, because Texas Tech also wants to go out there and get a win over Arkansas. I know it's not a revenge game for them, but they also remember, they also have players on that team, JT Toppin, for one, who know exactly what it's like to play Arkansas. And so they're going to be coming out just like Arkansas will be, and going, yeah, we want to get a win in this one. They've got to, for me, they have got to, because I believe Texas Tech, they rebound really well this year.
They do.
They do. I think they average, I think it's third in the conference with around 40 rebounds per game. And then they also offensively, on the offensive glass, they rebound very well, which is very similar to what they did last year. Very similar to what they did last year. So, Kevin, I'm just going to be honest. For me, it's like you got to crash the boards. You've got to do that once again. You have to do that in this game because they are going to be trying to do that. And so I look at that last game against Fresno State that we just talked about where, oh no, the rebounding battle. Remember, we just talked about that they lost the rebounding battle. Fresno State had 41 rebounds and they had 39. If I'm right on that, somebody can clock me and check.
That's it.
But so Kevin, I'm going to ask this. That's got to be something you're thinking about as well in this game, right? And something that Coach Cal knows that his team has got to do effectively come this Saturday.
Absolutely. And, Louisville was averaging over 14 offensive rebounds per game. Arkansas was plus 10 in rebounds, dominated the second chance points, and was plus 6 in the offensive rebounds. Nobody saw that coming. I don't know if that was an anomaly, if Arkansas can duplicate that or just stay competitive. But let's also look at the Cam Boozer / JT Toppin effect. Boozer owned Arkansas. He got away with a lot. But a guy coming in averaging 20 and 10, and that's what Toppin is. 21 and 11 are the averages there. Not a tremendous shot blocker, but man, the glass work, the ability to score. In Arkansas's front line, we saw what Boozer did. Is this guy going to be the – and I don't think Toppin's as physical as Boozer was and is. But there are a lot of things of concern here. Again, I say – if you look at it, it looks like a pretty even matchup. I just think in total, Arkansas's top 8 is better than the other team's top 8. But JT Toppin, the defending Big 12 player of the year, I believe. Yeah. And Christian Anderson he hurt Arkansas last year.
Oh, yeah, Christian Anderson, too. Yeah, I didn't even mention him.
So it's not like they don't have they've got more than one piece. They got a couple other guys averaging double figures. McCaslin does a great job. So this is a huge game, and it's Arkansas's third matchup against Elite Eight teams from a year ago, and they're going to play 9 games total against all 8 of the Elite Eight teams. And the reason there's 9 games is because you're playing Auburn twice.
That's right.
Away in SEC play. But Arkansas's 0-2 against last year's Elite Eight, losing to Michigan State and Duke. This is a chance for Arkansas to get on the winning side against last year's Elite Eight. In addition to the revenge factor, there's something else there that Arkansas would like to add to the resume.
Yeah, I'm just going to end. I'm going to show you this, Kevin, on the show. I'm going to show you this. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. We're going to show you this live. Yeah. So last year.
I want to see it live.
Last year.
I thought you might be texting with the president or something.
No. Well, he's close to the president. He's my dad. So, he's a known friend of the show. Coach Billy Mims. We're having him on after this Texas Tech game to break it all down for you guys. So be excited about next week. But I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you can see this, Kevin. Can you see that photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. That's Billy Mims.
That's McCaslin and Pops.
Yeah. He's with the enemy. Yeah. What's he doing?
Well, I don't know, man, but that's okay. That's okay.
They're good friends.
I don't know what to do with that, Courtney. That's your dad.
No, they're good friends.
I'm sitting in a Razorback room right now. I don't have room,
No, I know, but they're good friends. I just need everyone to know. Yep. He sent me that photo. That photo, for everyone who doesn't know, that photo was taken at the Final Four this past year. And he saw him in the airport. And they were like, buddy, and he sent it to me. And I said, look, I know he's a great person, Dad, but this hurts me a little too much right now. I don't want to see that man right now. And he said, I totally understand. I totally understand. I just said, for right now, sorry, Grant McCaslin, you're the enemy. You're the enemy right now. This week, you're the enemy. Next week, you may not be. And if Arkansas wins, we're all good. We're all good. But I can't support you this week. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just
Right.
can't. So I had to show that. I wanted to end it on a little bit of a funny note and just a nice little, hey, Grant McCasland, we want to talk about that. But Kevin,
We just don't ever 5x7 and frame that. Okay, if Texas Tech wins, especially again, just
I will not 5x7 frame that. I will not. There's
6 it.
Listen,
That's off the table too.
There's good photos out there of different, like my dad taking selfies with different coaches, and me, I have myself. I have different coaches that I've taken selfies with, but that one I will not frame for this week. Maybe if he ever becomes the Arkansas coach, I would.
Right.
But
there you go.
That's not happening. Out. We have Coach Calipari. Not happening, guys. That was not happening. But I will not be framing that this week. I will not be doing that. He is the enemy. I honestly should put that in my office with like a little, like, I was joking about the dartboard,
Yeah.
Should dartboard it this week. That wouldn't be very nice to my dad. But anyways, known friend of the show, Billy Mims will be on next week to recap this game. Win or lose for Arkansas, he's going to give you what happened next week. And Kevin, I appreciate you for joining me this week as always. Awesome stuff, man.
Always my pleasure, Courtney. Good to be here with you.
Welcome back to another episode of Full Courtney Press. We have a little extra segment on today's show for you guys. My special guest joining me right now is Carson Can, one of our producers here at KARK, and she's awesome. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I've known her before I took this job for about, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so over my time working with KARK, with Pig Trail Nation, she would get in my ear and we would talk basketball. And she's a big NBA fanatic. She's a big college hoops fanatic as well, and an Arkansas Razorback fan too. So she just loves to keep me updated with how the pro Hogs are doing. And I said, you know what, Carson? I want you on my basketball show. And I want you to give the fans a pro Hogs update because you follow them so much. You just following the NBA, you just follow them. And I know you said, okay, can I come on this week? Because we have a couple of guys that we want to talk about.
We have a couple of rising stars.
Okay.
I love to see it. Yes, huge NBA fan, huge college basketball fan, basketball in general, all of it. Definitely my favorite sport. But yeah, we have a few players who, anytime I love watching the NBA, but anytime there's a Hog in there, I'm always gravitating. I'm always watching out for them and looking out for them. So, yes, okay. I wanted to start with Jordan Walsh.
I love Jordan.
Jordan Walsh.
He's awesome.
We know he played for the Hogs 2022-2023 season. He played just freshman year under Muss. He was kind of the last Muss crew. And kind of teasing ahead, one of his former teammates on that team is also going to be another one of the players I'm going to shout out today.
All right.
So, yeah, he's on his third season on the Celtics. The Celtics kind of they're in a weird gap year right now with Jason Tatum's injury. So that's kind of how Jordan Walsh is getting on the floor. He's kind of been on the bench in the G League. And this year he's kind of popped off recently. So kind of looking, if y'all aren't stat nerds, just follow along. I promise this will tell the story.
I want to hear the stats. I want to hear how he's doing.
Yeah, so he's averaging 7 points a game right now.
Okay.
4 rebounds and a steal and 1 assist. Might not sound like crazy, not popping off the page, but 7 points is up from 1 point last year and 1 point the year before. So we're already, I don't know the math, but it's up there. And 21 minutes a game, that's way up from his previous years.
Yeah.
And he's shooting 58% from the field.
Wow.
Really great number.
Wow.
Doesn't miss. This is a great little fun fact.
Okay.
Season high this year, 22 points against the Wizards.
Okay.
In that game, he shot a perfect 8 of 8 from the field.
Wow.
Not only that, when I first found this stat, so this was a few days ago, but this was the most points in a game without a miss by a player in the Eastern Conference.
What?
So big time.
That is awesome.
Time. Yes.
That's a kind of a wild stat.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat, Carson.
No, it's just goes to show his improvement.
Yeah, and I know Boston Celtics fans. I have a couple of friends who do live in Boston or used to live in Boston, now live in Florida, who love the Celtics, and they love Jordan Walsh. They're like, this guy is going to be a star for us. He just
energy
needs,
guy.
yeah.
He's the defensive and the defensive side of the floor. I mean, I'm giving kind of his offensive stuff, but that's not his calling card on the court is his defense. If you watch him in the game, he's always guarding the best team's player. And again, the Celtics are really shorthanded, so once some of their players come back, his minutes might go down a little bit, but he's showing himself, he's proving why he should be on the court.
Yeah, at least for some of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're coming off the bench and you're giving quality, even if you're not getting a lot of minutes, if you're giving quality minutes, that just solidifies yourself in that lineup a little bit.
Yes. So, and can't go to miss, he's a champion. He's already a champion. So he's already reached the pinnacle. So now for his individual stuff, he keeps growing and getting better. So I love to see it. I love to see him getting some. There was a very funny quote the other day when one of his teammates called him like the garbage man because he was getting some rebounds or whatever. And he did not understand that. I guess he hasn't heard that term. So he was like,
no.
I am, like, he thought it was an insult.
Oh, no.
So he was like, I'm not, it was like a fun, like, little locker room video. And he was like, I'm not taking out the garbage. I'm not taking out anyone's garbage. Like, I don't know what he thought he meant. But his teammates were like, no, that's a good thing. Like, you're cleaning up the boards. I guess not. Or I guess in the context, maybe.
That's
I don't
so
know,
funny.
But it was hilarious.
Young players, you never know, because I used a phrase the other day with somebody, and they were a young basketball player, and I used the charity stripe, and he was like, I was like, oh, the free throw line, but I feel like sometimes you don't hear certain terms, and so I guess, but I'm kind of surprised at that because I feel like I feel like maybe somebody used that at Arkansas when he was here.
Had to.
Okay, well, anyways.
Big shout out to Jordan Walsh.
Big shout out Jordan Walsh.
I hope him and the Celtics. I mean, I don't wish the best success for the Celtics.
Yeah, because you're not a Celtics.
No.
Yeah.
But I do wish the best success for him.
Yeah, you like following the Hogs and wishing for their individual success.
But for an Eastern Conference team that I do like, the Orlando Magic.
Yes, my team, Carson. That's my team. Yes, that's my.
Okay,
you know
my
I'm from
Eastern
Orlando.
Conference team.
You know
That's
I'm from.
right,
Yes,
you are.
yeah. That's my team. Yeah,
The Magic.
Yeah, me too.
So, and like I teased earlier, this is a former teammate of his. And actually, another fun fact: him and, if you haven't guessed it yet, it's Anthony Black.
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah. I think some fans know that.
Anthony Black and Jordan Walsh have the record for the most games played by a Razorback freshman. They're tied at 36 games in a season.
When they were at Arkansas?
When they were at Arkansas together.
I didn't know that.
Little facts.
Carson's hitting us with the fun facts today.
I got some more. I
love it.
My fun facts.
You are like, we need to talk about this segment, but I kind of want it to be like Carson's something facts.
Yes.
Like that would be fun. I don't know what would go with the alliteration there. We'll think about it.
We can think about it. All right. The Magic they're kind of in the Eastern Conference race with the Celtics, just kind of another little
nugget. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
AB's averaging 13 points a game, but in his last 8 games, that's up to 18 points a game.
Ooh.
So he's also
on the up and up.
The Magic also had they were kind of not doing that well at the beginning of the season. Now they're doing much better. So, and that's up from 9 points last year.
Wow.
So his minutes are up too. He's playing 28 minutes a game. That's a lot of minutes. He has been coming off the bench, but with Franz Wagner just got injured, so he's kind of in the starting lineup.
Yep, another injury, yeah.
So, yep, he's 3 assists a game, 4 blocks a game, a steal a game. His 3-point percentage could be better, I will say that, but his defense is really, again, it's the defense. It's his defensive energy.
Yep,
great defense. When he's on the floor, they have a defensive efficiency rating of 111.
Wow. Wow.
So that's 5th in the NBA.
Wow.
He's on the floor.
When he's on the floor.
He's on the floor.
Wow.
So it just goes to show you that it's really, and you will love these fun facts.
Okay,
right.
I can't wait.
So
hit me.
He is a guard. He is a guard
Yep.
technically, but to me, when I watch him, he plays more like a wing.
Yes. Yeah, and he showed that at Arkansas too. Did you know this, Carson? I'll hit you with a fun fact.
Okay, yay.
I also think this. I thought the same thing. Yeah. He played more of like a wing even at Arkansas, but they added a position on the roster, so they didn't list wings as a position, and this year they have. So they have added. I know, isn't that weird?
This is the first year they've listed wings as a position?
I don't know if it's the first year, but last year they didn't do it. The year before they didn't do it. This year we finally got. I was like, oh, they're listing them as wings on the roster this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the first time. Listen, I could ask the SID. He would know. But I do know it's the first time in quite some time since I've been covering them. I haven't seen wing listed on the roster.
I think honestly that kind of makes sense because you are seeing that trend in the NBA where it's kind of positionless now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's so versatile.
And you are seeing that in college basketball too. The better teams try and play positionless basketball, right? The better teams kind of go, okay, you could be a center, but you're also, you can play the 4, you can play the 5, and maybe even a bit of the 3, right?
Trevor Brazil.
Good example. Good example, Carson. Good example. We love it.
All right, but I just bring up the guard thing because that's in relative to these stats.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, he has 21 dunks this season. That ranks number 2 for all guards in the NBA.
Wait, Anthony Black?
21.
No,
dunks.
What?
21 dunks. He plays with Tyus Jones. He plays with some of these point guards that really like to set up people, especially in the second unit. So that kind of makes sense that he's getting. But it is neat to see that he's getting up there.
If you would have quizzed me on that and you were like, hey, who's leading? Who's number 1, number 2, number 3? I would be like, he would not be in my top 5.
No, I mean you don't think of him as like a dunker.
No. Like
he might be getting to the rim, but he's not like going up like that.
No, I know he can dunk the basketball, but that's a wild stat to me. Okay, keep going.
And again, just with that, he's first in guards for lob finishes. So he's really
well, that makes sense.
And then back on the defense side of the ball. Top 15 in deflections and steals and top 10 in blocks for guards. So when we're talking about a versatile player that we were just talking about, that's
well, and I think Anthony Black, to be fair, it makes sense that that's what he's doing in the league because I'll be honest with you, we saw that here. We saw how well he could see the floor. And I mean, he can play the point too. I mean, he can play as a guard, but you're right. Sure. I feel like more of a wing, but he can do a lot of different things. And so to me, you know why he's having success in the league because it was like, wow, this guy has such a high basketball IQ and he plays at such a high level already. Yeah. It was kind of impressive to see. I mean, he was, to be fair, the most impressive out of those 3 freshmen. Out of Nick and out of Jordan. Not discrediting them. No. I'm not trying to say not hating on Nick Smith and not hating on Jordan Walsh, but Anthony Black was the most impressive.
He got drafted 6th.
Yes, that was a very good.
So, still lots of room to grow for them. Anthony Black's 20. Jordan Walsh 20 probably as well. I don't know his age, but still 3rd season in the league for both of them. Great to see that they're really getting on the floor. And then for Anthony Black, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Sneaky 6th Man of the Year candidate.
Ooh.
Because like I said, he might be starting recently. He started for the first time of the season last night, so it's kind of interesting. And also, if he keeps going up with this scoring, most improved player also. Also
that's true.
As well.
That's true.
I might be a little biased, but I'm just throwing it out there to get the narrative started.
Yeah, if the league is listening, we'll just start the campaign. It's like Diego Pavia. We just need to start a 2-turn, campaign for Anthony Black.
Get the people behind Anthony Black. He is for the people.
I love it. And Carson, I think you also mentioned too, because I love that you're shouting out Jordan Walsh and Anthony Black. We have a lot of other pro Hogs in the league. Are you shouting out some of those guys? Just honorable mentioning some of the other pro Hogs.
We're about 25 games into the season, so we're about a third of the way through the NBA season.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. That we're already there. It's just kind of crazy. It goes by so quick.
So first off, Moses Moody, the Warriors are they're struggling right now with Steph out, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just want to give a big shout out to Moses Moody because he scored a career high in November, 32 points. Not only that, he scored 21 points in 1 quarter on 8 threes.
What game?
I don't remember who it was against.
Okay. No, it's okay. I put you on the spot there.
But 21 points in a quarter. He was going off. He was.
Now I want to know what game that was because I missed
felt
that
the spirit
one.
of Klay Thompson in the building. So he kind of took over.
He put it in his body and said, "This is
Steph,
me.
You're good on the bench. I can take over this game."
Now I want to. Okay, I bet we can find it really quickly because I want to know who that game was. Okay, against the Pelicans.
Against the Pelicans.
The
Pelicans are terrible.
They are terrible.
But
I didn't know if. Not to discredit Moses Moody.
Not
I
at
just
all.
wanted to.
The Pelicans do have some good defenders. I will say that they got Herb Jones, they got Trey Murphy. They got
That's
some
crazy.
people, but
That's crazy. His career best 8 3-pointers in that time. In that, making him one of only 3 players in Warriors history to achieve the feat in a single quarter.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Moses Moody.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Put his name in the history books up there.
Put his name right there.
Love it.
Moses Moody. Love that. Love the shout out.
And then I just want to give, of course, another shout out to some other champions, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams. They're just living their best life on the Thunder, who are 23-1 on the way to another championship. So I just want to give them a shout out because they're living their best
Can I
life.
say something very quickly, Carson, here? Did you think they were both going to be on the Thunder?
No.
Me either. And I just I'm happy that they have them
Yes.
on their team, but I kind of thought maybe Isaiah Joe might go somewhere else.
Well,
I didn't know if they bring back Jay.
Yeah,
It was kind of, I felt like it was like, okay,
Definitely.
are they going to come back for another season?
Definitely. And it will get tricky once the cap rules in the NBA, the second apron and stuff. The Thunder, once their new contracts kick in with Chet and
Yes.
all of them, and Shea and J-Dub, that is going to be a little complicated for
Yeah.
the Thunder. So Isaiah, who knows how long they will be on the Thunder, but they just both of them signed new deals last summer. So
Wow, yeah.
they deserve it.
No, they do. And I was
Yeah.
happy for both of them. I was just kind of shocked. I kind of went, oh,
And
good for the Thunder getting them back.
yes, seeing Jay Will become like a social media darling
Yes.
was really a light.
And he's just
In my life.
He's the best.
If I had to watch the Thunder win a championship, I will just say I'm a Mavs fan. So watching the Thunder win a championship, it was a little tough for me.
I get that.
But I liked it because I could root for our boys.
Yes, and I'll say this. I mean, Jalen just a sweet. I got to talk to Isaiah after they won, and I can't even talk about this without getting emotional because he said to both Kevin and me, he said, I said, it's really nice of you to give us the time. And he goes, I want to because you guys there have supported me through all of it.
Yeah.
And it just means the world to me that now I can give back. And if I can help or if I can, give an interview, it just really touched me. That's the kind of person he is.
I love that. That's
and so shout out to Isaiah Joe because that to me, I was like, man, you're so humble. That's just so cool. It really almost got me choked up. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this interview with you now. And I just love it. And it just means the world. But I love that I also, even as a Magic fan, do find myself cheering for the Thunder because how can you not? Yeah. They're kind of like America's team in a little bit, right?
They're almost like a college team to me.
Yes,
in the way that their team is so connected and very, I don't know, just a lot of contributions from everybody.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Thunder. They're amazing. They're
I mean, I love SGA.
Yeah.
I mean, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I love listening to his interviews. I love every time. It's kind of interesting because I know their post-game interviews went viral because their reporter is so cool there too and has a great relationship with them. But they're kind of making post-game interviews great again because of how well they handle it, how interesting they are as people. I really enjoy listening to them.
I know when the Hogs just beat Louisville last Wednesday.
Yes.
When Trevin and Carter and all of them were around there, I was like, look at them doing a little Thunder post-game interview.
But it was cute.
It was so cute.
They are inspiring other teams to really go, okay, we are a team. I'd love to see that from more teams around the league. I genuinely.
I mean, it's what anytime that happens, anytime there's a player getting interviewed and one of their teammates comes and does hits him with a towel or does something silly, all those moments always go viral. So
yeah,
just I don't know, it's fun. Everyone loves seeing stuff like that.
They do. And it
That
shows
part
the
of the game.
camaraderie of the team, honestly. All right, Carson, we're running out of time
Okay.
here with you, but really quickly, you are an Arkansas basketball fan
Yes.
as well. You love watching the Hogs. I know you do. I come in, and sometimes when the Hogs are playing, she will have like 8 screens. She'll have 8 screens up. You'll be watching like the Mavs sometimes and Arkansas and some other game.
Yep.
You'll have like multiple basketball games going at once. So this weekend, rematch with Texas Tech. I was there in San Francisco last year when the Hogs lost to them in overtime. I wanted to cry. There's been few times I've wanted to cry in my career. That was one of them. So let me ask you this. Texas Tech, a very good basketball team. JT Toppin going to be very hard to shut down for Arkansas. But do you think Arkansas can get a win over Texas Tech in this revenge game?
I do. I think the revenge factor is going to play a huge
Me too.
piece. If it's not, it should. For me, Billy,
And
DJ, Trevin, Carter, they were all there when that happened.
Yep.
I heard Coach Cal say that he showed them the tape of the game the other day to kind of like show them, like,
didn't he also say, like, I watched the tape. How did we lose this game?
Yes.
It's just like,
I know that's one that I would like to like zap out of like my memory. Like let's forget that ever happened. But yeah, I think that's going to play a huge factor. And again, it's one of those things with JT Toppin. That is a part that I'm a little bit worried about.
Okay.
About, like you said, shutting him down just because we saw in the Duke game that basically one team had Cam Boozer, one team didn't. That's the reason why we lost.
Yeah.
But I think as a team, I think we have a more complete team. I think if we play to our strengths, like just the athleticism, I would like to see something that I would like to see from this team is more turnovers. We have the athleticism. Let's try to turn the ball over.
And they like to play in transition. So that breeds when you like to make it a track meet, right?
Yes.
When you like to get up and down the floor and they have the athletes to do that, you almost should be getting you should be causing more turnovers and wreaking more havoc there because they like it when it's up and down the court track meet. It's like a Michigan State that said, we're going to slow things down and put it in the half court. And that's where when you put Arkansas out of that element, out of that game, that's when you kind of see, that they're uncomfortable a little bit. I agree.
For everyone to stay out of foul trouble.
Oh, yes, that'd be nice.
The Michigan State game, that was Carter and Trevin really no-shows in that game. Trevin a lot because of the foul trouble that he got into early. So I would like to see them be able to stay on the floor.
Yeah.
And then my breakout player, I need Malik Thomas. I need
Okay.
Malik Thomas to really.
Okay.
These past couple games, he's been really quiet. He's gotten his 21 points, gotten his 17 points,
Yeah,
but they've been very quiet, and the three-point
A very
percentage.
quiet 21 and
They
17
have.
points.
So
Carson said very quiet.
Yeah, so I would like to see him really pop off in this game.
I'd like to see
And-
Malik Ewan keep
Yes.
improving because it was
Yes.
nice to see him show up in that Louisville matchup. It was nice to see, okay, here's why they recruited him. Here's why they got him from FSU. So I agree with you there. I'd also like to see Arkansas win the rebounding battle because if they do that, I think they're going to win.
I mean, they lost it against Fresno State.
They did.
So that's not great, but
They
it's
did.
also we're making a lot of shots and they're missing a lot of shots. But so that does factor into it. But at the same time, we should be out rebounding any team that we play like that. So yes, I would like to see that as well. And then the one last factor is I'd like to see them get a win on the road.
Yeah.
On the road.
Even
It's
on a
been-
neutral site.
On the neutral site, yeah. Not at Bud Walton. So it's a great crowd for Louisville. And I hope the fans in Dallas will show out and make it somewhat of a favorable environment for them. But I would like to see them kind of have that self.
It almost and Texas Tech fans are going to show up.
Yes.
I mean, you saw that when Texas Tech and BYU played in Dallas. So for the football, right? So to me, you are going to see a lot of Texas Tech fans. Yeah. Arkansas fans, we know they travel, but there also is a good alumni base in Dallas.
True.
So there is going to be a lot of Arkansas fans there too. To me, I think it breeds a really nice environment. Like what was the San Francisco Sweet 16 game? There was a lot of Arkansas fans there. There was a lot of Texas Tech fans there, but there was a lot of Arkansas. I will be honest. As someone who was there, I feel like the crowd now I'll be honest, Maybe there were some people that were just rooting for a good game or were
Yeah.
cheering for Arkansas. Maybe. I know there was a lot of people there in San Francisco who were just like, oh, we want Arkansas to win. Okay, you don't really
Yeah.
care. You know, Florida
just
fans
picking
were
a
kind of just cheering for the SEC, right? But that if they have a similar environment where it's like, ooh, okay, even half and half or a little bit more Texas Tech to get a win in that environment would be really huge.
I mean, we kind of saw it early in the season in the exhibition game versus Memphis, how it was kind of a half Memphis crowd, half
Yes.
Arkansas crowd. That was a great environment.
Yes.
So I think if they can kind of, hopefully that could be replicated, even more Hog fans in the crowd. So
I hope so.
yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, 16 versus 17, if we could go 1 or 2. I saw someone ask online if Hog fans could pick between winning the Texas Tech game and the Houston game, which one would they pick? And I think I would pick Texas Tech just for the revenge factor.
Yeah, Texas Tech, because that's going to give them a lot of confidence moving forward. They've already beat Louisville, right? That's great. That was a great win, great quad one win. Yay, put it on the resume. Be excited about that. But this one, with the revenge factor and with the fact that I think they just want to purge the fact that they lost to them in overtime in the Sweet 16. So getting that win only helps you moving forward when you face a team like Houston, right? That to me, and I get it. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna beat every. Coach Cal didn't put the schedule together and went, "Wow, we're gonna face every opponent from the Elite Eight last season. We're gonna win every one of those." No, he's not thinking that. He's trying to put the schedule together and go, "Hey, I'm trying to set my team up for the best net ranking when it comes down to it, right? When it comes down to seeding time, and they go, hey, who should be seeded higher than the other? You know, when they do all the tournament stuff, Arkansas is going to look really good because of the way their schedule laid out. But also he's doing that to test them. And so to me, beating Texas Tech is going to do a lot of things for this team. It's going to purge what happened last year. It's going to give them a lot of confidence knowing that, hey, we just strung together 2 great wins over a top-ranked Louisville team and a top-ranked Texas Tech team.
Yes.
That's going to breed well going into that Houston matchup. So for me, I would definitely say I'd rather have the win over Texas Tech than Houston. But hey,
I'll take them both.
I'll take them both. That's what I was going to say. Want to take them both?
Why not both?
Why not both? Hey, why not both? They can definitely do it. Carson, thank you so much for joining me. We went way over talking about these Pro Hogs and everything, but it was so great to have you join the show. We'll have you back to talk Pro Hogs and a little bit of Arkansas basketball on the show. You know, I will get you back on. It was so much fun to have you on the show. That's going to do it, though, for this episode of Full Courtney Press. We'll see you next Wednesday to break down Arkansas basketball. We'll break down, you know what, well, maybe we'll break down some Little Rock basketball as well for you, some Arkansas State basketball. We'll do a whole basketball recap coming up next week, but we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us on the show.